Yeah, they're working. Ladies and gentlemen, take your seats and we'll get this started. Well, thank you everyone for turning out tonight to the St Brendan's College 2019 Sports Awards. I'd just like to acknowledge some people here tonight. Father Matthew, thanks for coming along, and all the other dignitaries that have come along as well tonight. Thank you very much. Just a bit of housekeeping. Obviously the toilets, you would have saw them on the way in as you came in, so if you need to use the toilet, feel free to just move out whenever you want, and you'll be right there. Alright, moving forward, if I could get Jet Hill to come forward and just do an acknowledgement of land to get us going for the night. Thanks, Jet.
I would like to acknowledge the Jurrumbal people. I would like to acknowledge the Jurrumbal people, the traditional owners of this land. I would also like to pay respect to the elders past, present and emerging, the Jurrumbal people, and extend the respect to other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders present. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Jet. If I could get Father Matthew up to just lead us in a prayer before we get going as well. Thanks, Father Matthew.
Just as we gather here this evening, we might just particularly remember in our prayers there are many people in southeast Queensland who are struggling with fires and bushfires all over southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales. So we might just remember them and how fortunate we are with the many blessings that we have in our communities here, and we feel safe and there's no fires at the moment. We've had rain and the blessings of rain, but we pray for those many places down there in the southeast that are struggling at this moment, and we pray especially too for all of the emergency services personnel so that they stay safe as well. So we might just take a moment of quiet in our hearts and just acknowledge the struggles that some people are going through and give thanks for the blessings which we share here this evening, the blessings of this great place and the achievements that so many have had this year at 2019. So we might just take a moment of quiet as we acknowledge those people. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Thanks for that, Father. Moving along. St Brendan's. I just thought a little bit about the history. I've taken a little bit of time during the last few days when I was asked to do this tonight, just to just look a little bit into the history of the place and what it means to people in this school. So St Brendan's College has a reputation as one of the leading sporting schools in the state. With a rich history of producing talented sports people, many of these students have gone on to excel at the highest level in their chosen sport. With such a diverse range of sports at their disposal, students can choose to participate in events that eventually reach far and wide across the globe. Whether they go on to be a professional in their career or play locally in their place of residence, they all share a common bond in that they will be an SBC Old Boy. Tomorrow night, this bond will once again be on display at the school as they introduce a new crop of Old Boys in the annual SBC Old Boys Challenge versus the First 13. I fished around for a few facts. I'll just point those out for you right now. St Brendan's College has produced more NRL players than Nudgee College has produced Wallabies players, which is a pretty startling fact. Some of those have gone on to play for Australia and Queensland respectively. Just to name a few: Corey Oates, Ben Hunt, Paul Bowman, Matt Scott and PJ Marsh, who's likely to be out in the crowd somewhere tonight. Another fact, SBC has produced world champion sailors. One of those has actually won the America's Cup not once but twice. His name is Joe Newton. Another fact, SBC has produced world champion bull riders in Troy Dunn, as well as current PBR competitors Aaron Clyer and Bradley Fielder, both currently sitting first and second on the PBR national title race. Pretty interesting facts, but really good when you listen to that, you know, just to see how many guys have gone on and done really well in their sporting endeavours at the school. So congratulations to those guys. So whether it's rugby league, sailing or rodeo, no school does it more diversely and more inclusive than St Brendan's College. Hopefully you guys sitting in front of us here tonight get that opportunity someday and you can follow in their footsteps as well. Moving on, I'd like to get Director of Sport, Dallas Williams, up to the lectern and he can share a few words. But as he comes up, just give him a round of applause because Dallas has put in a big effort this year, just getting everyone ready. Obviously, you see a lot of guys here who play an enormous amount of sports. His efforts are always tireless. He works extra hours to get them prepared. So thanks a lot for your efforts, Dal, this year, mate, and come up to the lectern.
Thanks, Scotty. Tonight, we conclude the year in sport whilst also recognising the amazing achievements from the students seated before us. 2019 was another extremely successful year here at St Brendan's College. This year, we had an unprecedented total of 62 sporting teams take to the ovals, pitches and courts across the region and state in what can only be described as a smorgasbord of sport. We had teams playing as far south as Brisbane and as far north as Cairns, while we also had individuals represent their state and country, travelling across every corner of Australia and the world. For these opportunities to occur, not only takes a ton of commitment and dedication from you as individual athletes, but also a lot of time, money and patience from the very people sitting in the audience tonight. Could I please ask all you boys sitting in the audience tonight to make sure that you tell your family, whether in person or over the phone, how much you appreciate all they have done to get you where you are today. Sport is a very special part of my very own makeup. I grew up with two younger brothers and we played every sport imaginable as kids growing up in Townsville and Rockhampton. Having the opportunity to play a wide variety of both team and individual sports taught me many life skills that I've been able to transfer into my work and family life. I could stand here all night and list these, however, the one key attribute that stood out for me was to get better every day. Aim to be better than yesterday. This simple idea will ensure that you continue to grow, learn and work hard on all facets of your life. Here at St Brendan's College, our core focus is to instil the values and traits that create not only first-class athletes, but most importantly, first-class individuals within the community. A key factor behind our success in 2019 was the incredible level of involvement from both our staff at St Brendan's College and also the volunteers that sacrificed countless hours on the training paddock, coaching, managing, running water and driving buses, all to ensure you're prepared as best as possibly can be. To have 62 teams requires 62 coaches, 62 managers, and in most cases, 62 water boys. For this to transpire, it requires a large amount of organisation, paperwork. Therefore, I'd like to acknowledge the fantastic work of Scott Minnow. Scotty joined the sports team this year in the admin department. Not only is Scott the people's immortal, he is also an efficient, reliable and methodical operator. Scott is the type of person that will send out 200 emails, set up 3 tents, and then drive the boys to Rocky for a game of basketball or coach a futsal team at Heights College without any fuss. Scott has made a huge impact in the short amount of time he's spent at St Brendan's College, and I truly appreciate the time and effort he puts into ensuring the department runs as smooth as possible. Could I please ask everyone to put their hands together and show their appreciation for all Scott has done in 2019. 2019 in many ways was truly a year to remember for our rugby league program, as we officially appointed Mr Nathan Doyle with the role of Director of Rugby League. Nathan has a vast level of knowledge and experience in rugby league and has proven to be a vital resource to both our rugby league coaching staff and players. This year, for the first time in history, we saw 19 rugby league teams across Year 7 to Year 12 take to the fields across Rockhampton and the Capricorn Coast. Incredibly, this is almost 2/3 of the student population here at St Brandon's College, with 13 of the 15 grand finals contested being won by an SBC team. Nathan has also introduced another first for the college, with an England tour planned for our Year 7s and 8s in 2020. Well done, Nathan, on an outstanding 2019. Can we please also put our hands together for Mr Doyle? In closing, I would like to thank everyone for your support in 2019, including our major sponsor of sport, JRT, who continue to not only support St Brandon's College, but many other groups and sporting organisations throughout the region. To all our general teaching staff, maintenance crew, music department, IT crew, admin staff, marketing team, CLT, and the boarding staff at the college, a big thank you for all the work you do behind the scenes. It is truly appreciated. I'd like to wish our seniors the very best in their final days at the college, and to please ensure that you continue to be involved and participate in sport. Big thank you to all our families that share their trust in the staff here at SBC to the best we can with their child both inside and outside the classroom. And lastly, congratulations to all our award recipients tonight, and I thank you all once again for a tremendous year of sport in 2019. Please enjoy this short video. Thank you.
Count your blessing, 1, 2, 3. Don't save them for tomorrow. There's something out there you will see. Chase it down.
Thanks to all of the guys who got the photos throughout the year. Obviously, you captured the year in a nice little snapshot there. And thanks to Dallas for putting that great video together. Thanks, Dallas. Moving on to the awards. We're going to kick tonight's proceedings off with the Outstanding Achievements Award in Sport. These are for those who made Queensland and Australian representative sides. So I'll get Mr. Jonathan Gillup, Assistant Principal, to hand the awards out as we go. So thanks, Mr. Gill. Give him a round of applause. Feel free to applaud as they come up. I'll go through the list as we go, and then they can all stand up on the podium here, and then we'll get some photos. Queensland Representative, Rugby League 12 years, Carter Welfare. Queensland Representative in Karate, Isaac Dooley. Queensland Representative, Golf State of Origin, Isaac Jensen. Queensland Representative, QISSRL Rugby League Merit Team, Sam Strofeld. Queensland Representative, QISSRL Rugby League Merit Team, Peyton Jenkins. Queensland Representative, Athletics, Nathan Ray. Australian Representative, Karate, Levi Davis. Australian Representative, Weightlifting, Colby Green. Australian Representative, Rodeo, Finn Crinion. Australian Representative, Rodeo, Jacob Carriage. Australian Representative again, Rodeo, Logan Beek. And finally, Australian Indigenous Representative AFL, Kendrick Treadwell. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for those award recipients. Thanks. Moving right along, we're going to move now to the Year 7s, the newbies at the school. And I could get Mr. Nathan Doyle up, please, Director of Rugby League, to hand the awards out. Best back, 7C Rugby League, and Capricornia representative, swimming, 12 years, Alex Eaton. Most valuable player, 7D Rugby League, Barry Hankin. Best back, 7B Rugby League, Blake Johnson. Most valuable player, under 13 touch football, and most valuable player, 7A Rugby League, Braylon Marsh. Coaches Award, under 13 touch football, best back, under 7A Rugby League, Capricornia representative Rugby League, 12 years, and Capricornia representative in track and field, 12 years, Carter Welfare. Most valuable player, 7B Rugby League, Cohen Stewart. Best back, 7A Rugby League and Capricornia representative, Rugby League, 12 years, Jack Hardy. Most valuable player, junior, green futsal, Lachlan Maguire. Capricornia representative, softball, 12 years, Lachlan Paklepa. Capricornia representative, cricket, under 14, Leighton Rogers. Liam Welsh, apologies, sorry, Liam Welsh. Sorry, Welshie. Sorry about that. Sorry, Lele. Best back 7D Rugby League, Leighton Rogers. That's more. Most valuable player, soccer, years 7 and 8, Mitchell Norris. Best forward, 7D Rugby League, Owen McKitterick. Most valuable player, junior green basketball, Philip Yock. Best forward, 7A Rugby League, Raina Grams. Capricornia representative golf, Riley Jensen. Most valuable player, 7C Rugby League, Samuel Taggart. Best forward, 7B Rugby League, Tom Fogarty. Best forward, 7C Rugby League, Todd Simpson. And Capricornia representative, Rugby League 12 years, Tyler Melrose. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the award recipients. Thanks, Mr. Nathan Doyle. Moving along to the Year 7 awards. If I could get Mr. Shane Pears up to present the awards, assistant principal as well. Thanks, Shane Pears. Rifle Encouragement Award, SBC Shooting Club, Austin Salter. Most Valuable Player, Under 13 Rugby Union, Banjo Walker. Most Valuable Player, 8A Rugby League, Blake Field. Most Valuable Player, Junior Gold Futsal, Charlie Hemming. Best Forward, 8B Rugby League, Dustin Feldman. Capricornia representative in golf, Isaac Jensen. Best Forward, 8A Rugby League, Jet Day. Shotgun Encouragement Award, SBC Shooting Club. And Best Forward, 8C Rugby League, Lachlan Griffiths. Best Back, 8B Rugby League, Lachlan Hallam. Best Back, 8C Rugby League, Levi Triplett. Most Valuable Player, 8B Rugby League, Mateo Tapau Bon. Best Back, 8A Rugby League, Sam Wassamo. Best Forward, 8A Rugby League, Tavita Panaya. And Most Valuable Player, 8C Rugby League, Thomas Adams. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the award winners. Year 9 award recipients. If I could get up to the stage, Miss Karen Doherty. Mrs. Karen Doherty, to present the awards. Thank you. Most Valuable Player, Junior AFL. Capricornia representative, AFL 15 years, and Capricornia representative athletics, Ben O'Brien. Most Valuable Player, Water Polo Juniors, and Capricornia representative under 15 rugby union, Cooper Hall. Most valuable player, 9B Rugby League, Grattan McKitterick. Best forward, 9B Rugby League, Hayden Harvey. Best bowler, junior cricket, Jack Broadfoot. Best back, 9B Rugby League, Jack Lloyd. Coaches Award under 15 touch football, Jeremy Green. Most valuable player, 9A Rugby League, Jet Mannion. Best forward, 9C Rugby League, John Mooker. Best batsman, junior cricket, and Capricornia representative cricket, Joshua Welsh. Capricornia representative for swimming, Kai Pambard. Best back, 9A Rugby League, Lachlan Sweeney. Most valuable player, junior gold basketball, Stanley Sims. Most valuable player, 9C Rugby League, Will Henderson. Best back, 9C Rugby League, Zenon Saltner. And best forward for 9A Rugby League, Zion Wenatong. Thank you, Mrs. Doherty. Put your hands together, guys, for the award recipients. Just a little change of pace now. We're going to get a guest speaker up to the podium just to have a chat about his experiences at St Brendan's College. If I could get Colby Green to make his way up to the stage. Just a few things about Colby. Colby's represented Queensland in Rugby League as a junior. He's a World CrossFit finalist in 2017, and he's a current Australian representative in weightlifting. Put your hands together for Colby. Testing. Are you going to repeat everything I say?
No.
Cole, SBC student, mate. Obviously, you've a fair few accolades there, mate, in different sporting endeavours. Can you just share a little bit about your SBC experience and how it's been over the last few years, and just tell us how it's all been.
As many of you just heard, many of my sports coming outside of school. As I said, many of my sports, CrossFit, weightlifting, being external to the school, the support I've been shown by the school has been, for mum and I, dad, the whole family, we've loved it, and just shows no matter what sport you play here, the love you get from the school is unreal.
Here. Sorry to put you on the spot, Carl. Mate, we mentioned rugby league as you walked up here. Obviously, it was the first passion of yours and probably still is to this day. You represented Queensland, I think, at under 12 level, is that right?
Yeah.
Just tell us a little bit about your rugby league experiences, mate, growing up and whatnot.
So Dad being very footy orientated still to this day, loves it. I guess he kind of brought me into it and I just took off from there. And then obviously had a first go, made the few rep teams, made the Queensland 12s, and yeah, just loved it. Dad was very passionate, and I guess he's brought over to me, and I just loved it even more, and yeah, just kept going from there, and still love it to the day, but just a few other sports have taken over at the moment. Hopefully later in my career, might jump back into it. Probably not as such as a high level as what I was at. Probably maybe just local footy with the mates.
Yeah, good call, mate. And can you remember an experience, probably your favourite footy moment that you can remember, mate?
Oh, that's hard to choose. Probably under 12s Queensland probably takes the cake overall. Just that day, getting my name called out. I mean, something you can only dream of, I guess, putting on a maroon jersey. But yeah, like young Carter, he got the same experience and he'll live that for the rest of his life. And hopefully you'll carry on footy a lot more longer than me. Probably a bit better than me. But yeah, probably getting read out, number 9, Colby Green for Queensland. Yeah, that was pretty surreal.
Yeah, here. That's put your hands together. Good effort from Colby to make the Queensland side. So, mate, your transition. Obviously, we mentioned CrossFit. Now, to be recognised on the world stage is no mean feat, mate. CrossFit as popular as it is these days. Just tell us a little bit about how you went from rugby league into the CrossFit world.
So, being obviously a little bloke, obviously playing the footy, I needed to do something to get bigger, to try and compete with the bigger boys. So I had a mate there, Luke Gannett at the time was coaching, and Dad knew him, and he's like, let's try this CrossFit. And from there, joined it as a 13-year-old, and from there just took off pretty much, and then kept training, did the Open in 2014, which is like to make it to the CrossFit Games, and finished 33rd, I think. Then as a 15-year-old, I kind of just thought, this could be it. We could have a crack at this, make big time out of it, and then train, did all my training, the hours I put in, and as a 15-year-old, finished my last workout, and then logged it in and all that. Then a couple of weeks later, found out I was going to America later that year.
And I believe when you competed at those events, you finished 13th in the world. Is that correct?
So yeah, there was three parts to it. So the Open I finished 13th, and from there they took the top 20 in the online qualifier, which from the Open they took the top 200, and then after that I finished 4th, then went to the CrossFit Games later that year and finished 15th in the world as a 14, 15-year-old.
Put your hands together for that effort. Well and truly getting recognised on the world stage. Well done, Cole. What's a typical week look like training-wise? Like I know rugby league players, they're a bit lazy. They probably train twice a week, maybe 3 times. At the professional level, I was lucky enough to see that. It's probably 3 times a week. But, mate, what's a typical week look like for a CrossFitter? Because obviously a lot of guys in here wouldn't have done that before themselves. So, yeah, just share a little bit about that, please.
Well, yeah, it's definitely tough. It's not for the weak-minded, but so pretty much Monday to Saturday you train, and Sunday maybe if you want you can have a rest if you feel like it. But yeah, pretty much at a 15, I probably dropped off a little bit now with school and all that. But as a 15-year-old, Monday to Friday I was up at 5 a.m. every day to do the 5:30 class in the morning, do a little bit after that, get ready for school, go to school, then from school straight there to the gym at 3:30, start training at 4:30, then probably home at around 6:30, 7. And then that was Monday to Friday, then Saturday, up again, 7 o'clock, do the class, do training afterwards that for another 2 hours. So I think it all added up to about, every week I was training for about 24 hours altogether. So yeah, it's pretty intense.
Puts a few of the other sports to shame, mate. Thanks for the insight into that, mate. We might have to push those first 13 players a little bit harder next year. It's probably one that everyone else in this audience, especially the young guys here, mate, how many chin-ups can you do? Because I know Chase Domain Beale can do about 22 in a row. Is that the strongest part of your CrossFitting forte, or is there another part of is it push-ups, or what are you best at, mate?
Being a littler guy, obviously not weighing as much, body weight movements are definitely come a lot easier. Obviously CrossFit's a lot more diverse, so probably like Chase, you probably couldn't do 22 the same, mate. But anyway, Probably strict. I probably got about, I don't know, maybe 25 of me. But with CrossFit, you do the whole kipping thing. I think I've done 50 once or twice before.
Wow, Chase. That's pretty impressive. Well done, Carl. Hey, no, so you've now moved on to weightlifting, mate. Obviously now you're sort of in a similar arena, but weightlifting's obviously a different form. Again, how did you get into weightlifting, mate? Was it just the transition from CrossFitting or?
So yeah, pretty much with the CrossFit, it counters everything. So your aerobic, gymnastics, weightlifting and all, powerlifting, everything. And it kind of just worked into each other there. And I wanted a coach. I think he was a weightlifting coach. Oh, he was a weightlifting coach. So he's the Olympic weightlifting coach, Miles Waddell in Brisbane. And I wanted his help. And he's like, I'll coach you if you do some comps with me, for me. And I was like, yeah, right, if I need to. And then, yeah, done a few comps. He's like, you go, all right. So let's try and push you for this Australian gig. I was like, oh, if I have to. And then last year, yeah, made my first overseas trip for weightlifting to New Caledonia. That was a good experience. And this year, same a trip for the Oceania and Commonwealth Games and not Commonwealth Games, sorry, Commonwealth Games trials. And yeah, got 2 silvers there, and then that was pretty much it for this year over in Samoa. That was a good experience, and yeah, hopefully maybe a couple more comps further down in the years for weightlifting.
Well done, mate. So not only has he conquered rugby league, he's conquered CrossFit, now he's conquering weightlifting. Just a quick one for you, mate. I researched you a little bit. Your current clean and jerk records, is it 109 kilos? That's what I weigh, mate, so you ready?
112.
112? There you go. Might have to eat a few cream buns. Hey, guys, put your hands together for Colby. Obviously, it's a bit daunting coming up here. But we really appreciate you, sharing a little bit of insight into what you've experienced in your sporting endeavours, mate, and congratulations and all the best for the future.
Thanks for having me. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
All right, we'll get back into the awards, and I'll kindly ask for Mr. Peter Reddy to make his way to the stage. Head of PE. Thanks, Pete. For the Year 10 awards. Now, Dallas, you've made this a bit small, this writing, so forgive me for holding it up near my face. But we'll just move through them again. Feel free to applaud again. Oh, yeah, Father, you just offered me a pair of glasses, which might help. Moving right along. So the shotgun second place, SBC Shooting Club, and rifle second place, SBC Shooting Club, Adam Boyle. Overall shotgun champion, SBC Shooting Club, and overall rifle champions, SBC Shooting Club, Amos Korokov. Best back, 10D Rugby League, Balin Wanchup. Best forward, 10D Rugby League, Dempsey Davey. Best batsman, senior cricket, most valuable player, 10C Rugby League, and Capricornia representative in AFL, Ethan Bird. Bull Rider of the Year, SBC Radio Club, Finn Crinion. Best back, 10C Rugby League, Gimere Wasamo. Best back, 10A Rugby League, Harrison Gray. Capricornia representative in water polo and Capricornia representative in swimming, Jesse Laverty. Most valuable player, senior green basketball, Capricornia representative in athletics and Capricornia representative in touch football, Joseph Pearson. Most valuable player, 10D Rugby League, Joshua Scales. Best forward, 10A Rugby League, Keelan O'Brien. Most valuable player under 15 Rugby Union, Capricornia representative Rugby Union, and Capricornia AFL representative Kendrick Treadwell. Best back, 10A Rugby League, Kongasau Nona. Best bowler, senior cricket, Lachlan Caldwell. Capricornia representative triathlon, Lachlan Tompkins. Most valuable player, senior water polo. Best forward, 10C Rugby League, and Capricornia representative water polo, Lincoln Johnson. Capricornia representative for athletics, Marley Wassamo. Best forward, 10B Rugby League, Marshall Sullivan. Capricornia representative Rugby League and Capricornia representative AFL, Matthew Hill. Most valuable player under 15 touch football and Capricornia representative AFL, Michael Young. Most valuable player, senior AFL, Mitchell Tucker. Most valuable player, 10B Rugby League, Noah Corcoran. Most valuable player, 10A Rugby League, Owen Paddy. Capricornia representative Rugby League, Tynan Donovan. And Capricornia representative Rugby League, Tyrese Armat. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the award recipients. Thanks, Mr. Peter Reddy. Moving on to the Year 11 award recipients, could I get Mr. Peter Bartlett up to the stage to hand the awards out? Cattle Club Parader of the Year, SBC Rodeo Club, Ashton Scott. Capricornia representative surfing, Baxter Gardner. Best forward, Open Seconds Rugby League, Dalton Loram. Most valuable player, senior gold futsal, and Capricornia representative in surfing, Harry Piper. Most valuable player, Open Fifths Rugby League, Henry Burden. Best forward, Open Fourths Rugby League, Jack Manns. Coaches Award, First 13 Rugby League and Capricornia representative for Rugby League 18 years, Jake Bagri. Best back, Open Fifth Rugby League, Jacob Lothian Morgan. Best back, Open Seconds Rugby League, Kalani Singh. Capricornia representative, Rugby Union 18 years, Lachlan Anderson. Most valuable player, senior gold basketball, Levert Pearson. Capricornia representative, water polo, Liam Doherty. Most valuable player, year 12 soccer, and most valuable player, open volleyball, Luca Pearson. Most valuable player, open touch football, and most valuable player, open thirds rugby league, Michael Rediex. Best forward, open thirds rugby league, Peter Barry. Most improved cowboy, SBC Rodeo Club, Philip Sheehan. Most valuable player, open seconds rugby league, Tane Cooper. Capricornia representative for surfing, Toby Messer. And Capricornia representative rugby union, Will Nixon. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the reward recipients. I can't say reward recipients. Thanks for that, Barlow. Moving along, Year 12 awards. If I could kindly get up Mr. Aaron Cooper to present the awards. Put your hands together for Aaron. Best forward for First 13 Rugby League, Bill Gunning. Best back, Open Fourths Rugby League, Blaine Saltner. Capricornia representative, Rugby League 18 years, Blake Lardy. Best forward, Open Fifths Rugby League, Brent Anderson. Capricornia representative, Rugby League 18 years, Chase Domain Beale. Capricornia representative in surfing, Colby Lewis. Best back, Open Thirds Rugby League, Dane Wassamo. Most valuable player, Senior Green Futsal, Darby Berry. Most improved, First 13 Rugby League, Isaac Garraway. Most valuable player, First 15 Rugby Union, and Capricornia representative in Rugby Union, Jet Hill. Coaches Award, Open Touch Football, Joe O'Brien. Capricornia representative, Rugby League 18 years, Leish Salam. Equal, best forward, First 13 Rugby League, Liam Kenny. All-round cowboy, SBC Radio Club, Logan Beak. Pistol champion, SBC Shooting Club, Luke Selwood. Best back, First 13 Rugby League, and Capricornia representative Rugby League, 18 years, Mauga Nona. Most valuable player, Open Fourths Rugby League and Capricornia representative in athletics, Nathan Ray. Most valuable player, First 13 Rugby League and Capricornia representative Rugby League, 18 years, Sam Strofeld. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the award recipients. Thank you, Mr. Aaron Cooper. While the guys are making their way back to their chairs, we've got a special guest here tonight, Mr. Odell Manuel. Just a few things about our special guest, just a few facts. He played 39 games for the New Zealand Warriors in the NRL between 99 and 2000. He played 19 games in the NRL for the Canberra Raiders in 01-02 before he was forced to retire after joining the Comets Rugby League. In his first year of powerlifting, he won the Queensland and Australian titles, lifting a combined 916 kilos in 3 events. He's 6 times the strongest powerlifter in the Southern Hemisphere, and he's 3rd equal strongest heavyweight powerlifter in the world. Odell Manuel, come to the stage. Just asked if the chair's going to hold us. Before we get going, mate, I hate to spring this on you, but I've got a challenge for you. You up for it?
No, yeah, all good. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah.
Jed Hill, where are you? Come up.
Oh, those
He always talks about how strong he is. So in my hand here, I've got a grip strength meter. What we're going to do is we're going to measure you against the 3rd strongest man on the planet.
I actually sprained my hand too.
He just sprained his hand. So once you squeeze this meter, mate, it'll give me a reading and I'll read it out to the audience. Do your best. So squeeze it like that. And don't do it with 2 hands, just the one. Your best hand, mate. And squeeze it as hard as you can. Nice work, Jetty. He's recorded a reading of 62.5. Put your hands together for that. Good effort, Jet.
Got me covered.
Now, I hate to say pressure.
I just come back from the gym.
Already saw.
Let's see how you go, Odell. That's it, mate. Let him go. 63.5. He beat you by 1. Good effort, big fella. Great work.
Sprained, man. My excuse.
While he's walking back, when he can't hear us, were you
Awesome,
actually
mate.
trying that?
No, it was. No, he beat me. All good.
Good effort. Welcome, big fella, to the SBC for the awards night. Thanks for coming, mate.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, Scotty, and everybody here.
So, yeah, Odell, mate, obviously the stats, they speak for themselves, mate. We'll start off by talking about your rugby league career, mate. You know, your time at the Warriors, that was your first club that you experienced professional football. Just tell us a little bit about how you're growing up and how you got to be at that point where you got a start in the NRL, mate.
Oh, well, I was brought up in South Auckland, you know, but even wherever you're born in New Zealand, you know, rugby's gospel, you know, and going over to the league is the dark side. But, you know, fortunately my dad got me over to the dark side league, and here we are today. You know, I played league, started when I was 7, and we actually, where I was brought up, it was Otahu, and that's where a lot of the Tonga, it's like the capital of Tonga there. So I was brought up amongst the big boys. But you know, I started when I was 7, nothing special. I made my first rep side when I was 11, but didn't play fair enough footy till I was 18. So I was a late bloomer. But we made the mothership when I was 21. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't like, there was a lot of other more talented guys than me going through the grades, but I was just one of those guys that turned up to training and tried my best on the games and made sure I went to the training clinics and all that. But yeah, he made my first debut when I was 21, and yeah, that was an experience.
Mate, you mentioned about your first grade debut. You see it a lot on the internet now. You see the coach and whatnot telling the player how he's going to debut. Can you tell us how you were told that you're going to debut?
Well, I made the top 25. I don't know how I made it, but I made it. We just made it, and then we actually played the Broncos in our last pre-season game, and obviously after that we played the round 1 against Roosters. But I actually played a good game against your boys, the Broncos. I actually scored, so they put me in the starting side going against the Roosters opener in '99. So that was a huge buzz. I didn't think I'll actually make it that year, but we did. So I was lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time.
Well done, mate. A great effort, obviously, to make your first grade debut. Watching the Warriors and whatnot at that time too, I was a bit of a fan of the way they played footy. Can you name your favourite player in that side at that time?
I think maybe even yourself will probably remember him. Stacey Jones, probably the one when I was playing, and Francis Melly, all those guys. But I think all the younger fellas don't know who they are. Those guys, they were old now, but they were the guys that I played with. And yeah, him and Stacey Jones, Clinton Dorpey, all those guys, I played with those guys. But they gave the Aussies a good rap, but the Aussies were just too good on the day. But yeah, I played with all those guys. Lucky enough.
You mentioned Francis Melly. He's Brent Tate's favourite player too, apparently. Yeah, he got him a few times late, jamming in on the wing from the wing. I think he's the one that caused that neck problem for him. So.
Brent still got the last laugh later.
He does, yeah.
Yeah,
So you moved on to Canberra, mate.
Yeah.
After your stint at the Warriors, obviously, you know, a big trip across the Tasman and over to be coach. What was it, Mel Meninga at the time, or
Big Mel?
Big Mel got you across, mate. Yeah, tell us about your time at Canberra, mate.
Oh, that's probably the only reason why I went there, because of Mel. You know, we were growing up, and you know, I support the Maroons too. So you know, like
Good boy.
That's why I wanted to go there.
Give him a clap for that.
My wife's a New South Wales supporter. We'll change over later, but yeah, that's the reason why I wanted to go, because you know the legend himself, he's coaching, and there was a lot of other guys there that I looked up to, like Laurie Daly and you know Mullins and all that. But yeah, I got to change over. It was a huge transition for me, because you know I was still staying at home, believe it or not. I was a mummy's boy, but we had to go over, me and my wife, and you know we started a new life, and you know it was good, but. It was a good experience to play with those guys, and I'll never forget.
That's good, mate. So obviously you made the trip up this way, got signed by the Capras, then Comets, to play in the Queensland Cup. That stint lasted it was fairly brief, mate, because you were forced into retirement. Is that right? Yeah,
it was only 6 games. See, what happened is, obviously, when I was at the Raiders, I come home early, just lost passion for the game. You know, that was something that nobody knew. But I got the passion back, but obviously the Cowboys, they wanted me to come over, but I had to play in the feeder club, which was the Comets Capras. So I come over here to try and get that NRL, you know, jersey again. But yeah, I only played 6 games for the Comets, and I got diagnosed with osteoarthritis on my knee. So that's the running days over for me. So I ended up staying here, me and my wife, and here we are today. Blessed enough to live with you fellow Australians, and it's been a huge blessing.
That's awesome, mate. You know, obviously being a CQ man now.
Yep.
Happy with that, mate. And obviously you've made friends in this room, Dallas Williams and the likes.
Yeah, Big Dal.
Just through your playing days. And
I see PJ's boys were here. You know, PJ.
Yeah, PJ's around.
I trained with PJ, and I used to play with Darren Mapp and all that at the Raiders too. So it was just really, it was awesome. You know, it's a beautiful country.
Awesome, mate. Powerlifting. So you ventured into powerlifting as soon as the footy was a no-go. Again, same as Colby. How'd you get into it, mate? Like, what started you off? Did someone just invite you along to do some gym one day, and all of a sudden it ignited that in you? Or how did that come about?
Well, I finished footy I had to retire from footy because of the injury in 2006. So I still trained, because I was doing weights. I won't lie. My father got me into weights when I was 10. So I was always doing weights, I loved it. That was probably second nature to me. League wasn't, but weights was pretty easy for me. I enjoyed it more than I did running. And then I started training at Norm's gym and for 2 years, and then the local powerlifters asked me, why don't you come do a comp with us? And I said, I'll give it a go. So I trained a couple of months for it, and then we went for it, and then I obviously won it. And the total that I actually clocked, it was a total that I could go to the World Championship with my first comp. So it was, I went, I'll give this a go. I must be all right at it. But and here we are today. But even though you go out on your own and you get the praises and glory, but I always had a good team, a good team behind me that helped me. The ones that have been before me to help me to, not cut the corners, but really, just the trial and error has already been done. I just copied their programs and it made it a lot easier for me. So it was my team that got me there. I was just got out and lifted the weight.
Nice, mate. Yeah, but I think a little bit of credit has to go to you, mate.
Some of it.
As I read out a few facts about your weightlifting records, get a load of this one. So combined, his biggest lift has been 1,115 kilos across 3 events. Let's put this one into perspective. He's squatted 470 kilograms. To give you a good idea, the racehorse Winx weighs about 500 kilos. So when you say it that way, it seems a little bit off this planet, mate. I'm sorry. But that's unbelievable. 265 kilogram bench press and 405 kilogram deadlift. Unbelievable, mate. Talk us through the 470 kilogram squat. What the heck?
I think the young fellas don't care because they don't realise it was only 1 rep. But I think that they're more impressed with me doing 50 reps of it. But yeah, no, I could only do 1 rep, sorry. But that was probably, when I did that 470 was last week. Luckily, I can still walk today, but last Saturday.
Wow. What did you eat that day?
Well, no, I didn't eat nothing that day because I already carved up during the week, enough.
There you go, carbs.
But we, leading into that squat, because we get 3 attempts, and I actually fell on my face on the 440, the opener. Literally.
Wow. So you fell on your face on a lesser weight?
Yeah, because you obviously you get 3 attempts, so you start with a weight that's lighter that you can do pretty easy. But I obviously didn't do it easy. I fell on my face, but we clocked it on the second, and then we went for the 470 on the last, and that was a struggle. But we got it up just.
Whose decision was it to go once you'd fallen to 470? Was that your decision or was it your team's decision?
It was actually mine, but then I realised no, we better change that. But once you put it in, you can't. So I went, I'm gonna have to dig deep.
So you were locked in.
Yeah.
Locked in for 470.
So luckily we didn't. Yeah,
No means.
I was making sure the ambulance was there straight after it. But yeah, I'm good.
I suppose some of the people here, when you played footy, mate, were wondering how much did you weigh when you played footy, and how much do you weigh now? Because you look like the Rock, mate.
Oh, fat now. Fat now. No, I was 50 kg lighter then.
So you
looked a lot better when I was playing footy. But
how much were you weighing in your footy career? 105.
Yeah, 105. But when I started, it was 198, and then when I went to the Raiders, somehow I went up to 105. But it wasn't too bad there. A lot lighter than now, anyway.
Mate, you were discussing with me before that some of the competitors in your division
are 180,
are 180 kilograms.
Yeah, and some of them are the same height as me too.
Wow.
So, I think with a lot of the super heavyweights, Scotty, once you get to the super heavyweights, it's not really about, it's about really looking after your knees and your heart.
Yeah, that's the thing, mate.
There's so much weight,
yeah.
Not only on your back, but you're walking around with it all the time. So I always make sure that I get blood tests and all that. I always make sure, I don't know about the other guys, but I always make sure, especially with a wife like mine, I always have to make sure that I do it all right. She's the boss. She's the law.
Mate, as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking of things to say, and I'm just wondering, you see videos of like Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Massive.
in that thing he did in his competition for what was it?
Olympia.
Olympia, Mr. Olympia. They're in the
Pioneer.
back there. They're all psyching each other out.
Yeah.
Are you boys out the back there taking your shirts off and showing
Well,
your
not taking.
muscles
Well,
or
not.
whatever?
Well, I don't take my shirt off, but a lot of the guys. Yeah, there's a lot of banter around the back. I took a guy for the first time last year. He helped coach me. Glenn Hansen. He runs Vector Health, and he didn't realise it was that intense around the back. But you know how it is, Scotty, and the young fellas know that, as league players, we love that, leading into a game, there was always going to be a bit of banter. And obviously in NRL it was like that too. You see it on social media or whatever, and I was used to that. But don't get me wrong, I don't get it amongst it, but when they
You
do it to me,
enjoy
I just
it,
laugh.
in
I
other
enjoy
words.
it. I enjoy I enjoy it to a point, but as long as we deliver on the day. But
Yeah,
it's
that's
good.
right.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk it up and then not deliver. Mate, yeah, so I suppose there's a lot of young kids in the room
Yep.
sitting out here with probably aspirations of doing things, like you've done, playing NRL, being a powerlifter, whatever it is. Have you got a message for the young guys sitting out here in the audience today, and about the way to conduct yourself, or the way you get yourself in those little steps to get to the top?
Oh, just for me, Scotty, I wasn't the best rugby league player. I was just lucky enough to play with the best the elite players, but I wasn't the best, but I was lucky enough to play. But I think for me, I just persevered. Rugby league wasn't second nature for me, believe it or not. I looked like I could play, but I really had to I had to work for it. If you ask my mum, my dad always took me up, but my mum will tell you the truth that I really had to work for it. But I had good parents. For me, I hope I don't offend anybody here, because I realise not everybody has that their blessing. But I had really good parents that really pushed me through, right through. And I really resented that later on with my father. I actually had arguments with him later, but it's only recently I realised, because back home there's a lot of gangs. I didn't realise that until I come here. I thought it was normal until I come here, and I realised there's a lot of gangs back home, and that's why my father got me into that. He really pushed me, to get into footy, just to stay away from that. I'm not judging the gangsters, but I think it'll be a lot better the road that I took than the road to jail. So I really thank my parents for that. And yeah, my message to you young guys is that talent can be it can be a hindrance too, because sometimes you rely on it. I think there's nothing better than the hard work and just persevering, like I just said before. I just made sure that I stayed in the arm wrestle. You're going to get some guys that you go through the grades with, and they probably blossom before you. But just stay in the game, you'll be there. I know life's not perfect, but we just got to make sure that whatever the storms throw at us, we just got to keep on moving forward. Like my mate Sylvester Stallone says, we always got to keep on moving forward no matter what. So.
Nice.
He's not really my mate, but I watch him all the time.
We'll
but
go with that, mate.
Thank you.
Mate, great message for the young guys in here. Put your hands together. Nearly there. I'll save the best for last, mate. Give us a story about eating. Have you got a story pre-comp or anything like that where you've just consumed a lot of food, mate? To get to $1.55, you've got to be pushing some food in.
I don't eat that much. But no, there was one back in 2012 when I was lighter. I was supposed to weigh in at 125, and then obviously after 125 it's a super heavyweight. But I wanted to go into this comp at the 125 because I knew I could take the 125 comp and the heavyweight. But somehow just before weighing, I just got real hungry. I know it sounds weird, but I had to eat 2 chickens before I ate 2 chickens
What?
before.
2 chickens?
Yeah, Red Rooster ones, because we were right next to. So, yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Just a light snack, mate.
No, it wasn't light, but I still ate it, and then we didn't make weigh-in, so
So you weighed in at 128.
129.
Oh, wow.
I think it was mostly water. So that's
Oh, mostly water, yeah. Blame it on me.
But yeah, I always tell that to a lot of the boys and the ladies that are coming through powerlifting, and it always puts a smile on their face.
Oh, nice, mate. Mate, thanks for being here tonight. Obviously, a lot of guys here can take a lot out of what you've just told us just now, and your journey. It's very similar to ones that you hear of other professional athletes.
Yeah.
And the perseverance and all those things that matter. That's going to ring true with some of these guys, and they can take that away with them. So, really appreciate you you sharing those kinds work.
Thanks for having me, everybody. It's,
Put your hands together for Odell Manuel. Lovely assistant, Dallas Williams. We'll move right along. I'll hand you these, mate. Not long to go now, guys. Just a few awards to go before we close things, and if I could kindly get Odell back up on the stage. Sorry to get you to go up and down, mate, getting you to do unnecessary squats. Yeah, head over here, big man. If you could just present the next awards as we go. A few good stories there you can swap at the next barbecue. 2 chickens before the weigh-in. I'll be throwing that one up somewhere along the lines. Thanks for that, big fella. All right. The next award we're going to present is the Team Performance of the Year. I get the pleasure of talking about this one. This team came together at the end of 2018 on the main oval. They had to tackle Mount, or we call it Mount Panorama, but Panorama Drive, where you go over, down the back, touch Coach Hanson's car, and have to run back before you spew your guts up. It all started there, and then we worked through a long pre-season, all the way through to the footy, and when things got a bit real, we were lucky enough to do really well in the Aaron Payne Cup, where the team made the semi-finals and then beat Ignatius Park, who are the eventual winners of Confraternity Shield this year. And then the team then made their way to Dairy Farmers Stadium, or 1300 as it's called these days, to contest the final of the Aaron Payne Cup against the eventual Australian champions of Rugby League Kerwin, where they went down by 2 points, which is a massive achievement. And then later on in the year, they topped it all off with winning the local grand final. I'm speaking of the first 13 Rugby League football side. If I could get Sam Strofeld, Captain Sam Strofeld, and Bill Gunning to the stage to accept the award on behalf of the team. Stay up there, big fella. So we're moving along. Athlete of the Year. The Athlete of the Year was an age champion at the Interhouse Athletics Carnival. He also represented Capricornia at the State Athletics Championships. Sorry, this is the Junior Athlete of the Year, where he received a bronze medal in the 100 metres and 2 silver medals in the long jump and triple jump events. Oh, sorry, senior. Sorry, guys. The 2019 Athlete of the Year goes to Nathan Ray. Little misread. Need my thing there. The next award goes for the Swimmer of the Year. The Swimmer of the Year was an age champion for the Interhouse Swimming Carnival, a Capricornia representative in both swimming and water polo. The 2019 Swimmer of the Year goes to Jesse Laverty. Well done, Jesse. Correction now. Junior Sports Person of the Year. This year's Junior Sportsman of the Year played in the under 12 and under 13 St Brendan's College Rugby League Sevens and Rugby Union teams. He also represented the school in Rugby League and touch football. This person was was selected in the Capricornia track and field, Capricornia cross country, and the Capricornia under-12 rugby league team, where he was later selected for the Queensland team. The 2019 Junior Sportsperson of the Year goes to Carter Welfare. Congratulations, Carter. The final award for the night is for the Senior Sportsperson of the Year. The Senior Sportsperson of the Year represented the college in both rugby league and rugby union. He was also crowned age champion for athletics and would go on to represent Capricornia and get a medal in 3 events, earning selection in the Queensland athletics team. The 2019 Sportsman of the Year goes to Nathan Ray. Put your hands together for all the award recipients. Thanks, Odell. Well, guys, that wraps it up for this evening and the 2019 Sports Awards. Thanks to all the parents who travelled from out west, far and wide, and to all the guys who competed this year. Well done, and all the award recipients, all the guests and everyone. If you want to get some photos outside, feel free, and have a lovely evening, and thank you very much.